halfway through the conference schedule, the Gonzaga Bulldogs find themselves atop the class in the WCC. Grading high in both marksmanship from the outside and efficiency down low, the Zags are playing graduate-level basketball. The Santa Clara Broncos, while struggling to make the grades, are receiving an upper-class performance from underclassman Jared Brownridge. The freshman sensation is coming off back-to-back 30-point, A-plus performances. Study time is over. It's a WCC Wednesday night midterm. Zags, Broncos, next. Well, when one of the best teams in the country comes into your building, well, that's going to get the home fans riled up, and that is the case tonight. We're inside the Levy Center. Sellout crowd is expected. It's the Gonzaga Bulldogs and the Santa Clara Broncos. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to West Coast Conference Basketball. Along with Dan Bellamini, I'm Glenn Kuiper. We are at the halfway point of the conference schedule, and Danny, no surprise, Gonzaga sits on top.
Well, aren't they always on top? And they're playing terrific basketball, and I think, Glenn, they're really primed to play their best basketball from here on because they're healthy. They got everybody on the floor, which may not be good news for the rest of the West Coast Conference.
Santa Clara needs a win. They've lost 4 in a row, and they're going to need another great performance from their super freshman.
Well, and he has been tremendous. And, of course, it's Jared Brownridge. You look at that back-to-back 30-point efforts. So in anybody's book, that's pretty good. And Brownridge, he's doing it from the perimeter. He's driving the lane. He's making all the shots. And he's just an outstanding all-around player. And no question, Brownridge will have to come up huge tonight if Santa Clara is going to beat Gonzaga.
Now, these two teams' first game of the year was the conference opener. It was up in Spokane, and the Bulldogs won by 14. Their backcourt was terrific that night.
Well, you cannot win without good guards in college basketball, and certainly Gonzaga's got him. And you look at Pangos, tremendous shooter, and of course, what can you say about Gonzaga? They're one of the leaders in the country in three-point shootings. And how about David Stockton? I mean, he has improved every year. He's been a Bulldog, doing a beautiful job of leading the team, controlling the ball, not making turnovers, driving the lane. So we've got some guards in this one. Should be a tremendous game tonight.
So Gonzaga has won 4 in a row. Santa Clara has lost 4 in a row. Something's got to give tonight. Could it be an upset special inside the Levy Center? We'll find out. Lineups and tip-off when we come back. West Coast Conference Basketball is brought to you in part by Geico, saving you money on car insurance. By Chevron, enter for your chance to win a trip to the WCC Championships in Las Vegas. And by Arby's, mix and match 2 roast beefs or 2 classic beef and cheddars for just $5 at participating Arby's locations. Welcome back inside the Levy Center. The crowd still filing in, and it is a good crowd. They're expecting a sellout tonight, and why not? The Bulldogs are in town, the first base Gonzaga Bulldogs, and they will always draw the best crowds on the road. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. They're presented by Numerica Credit Union. Pay bills, deposit checks, and access your accounts 24/7 with mobile banking at Numerica Credit Union. Stockton, Pangos, Gary Bell Jr. back in the lineup. We'll talk about his injury that forced him to miss some time, but he is back now in the starting lineup. Sam Dower having a terrific season, and the big fellow in the middle, Schmidt Karnowski. Santa Clara, starting five, looks like this. Clark, Richard, the star freshman, Brownridge, MacArthur, and Ntonga. MacArthur and Ntonga got to do something offensively if Santa Clara is going to pull the upset tonight. Tonight's keys to the game presented by Northern Quest. Northern Quest Rise and Shine package includes a one-night stay and $20 towards breakfast. Visit northernquest.com for details.
All right, Glenn, Northern Quest, keys to the game. Glenn, perimeter defense, you got to limit, if you're Gonzaga, the three-point shooting of Santa Clara, and they've got to keep the turnovers down to 12 or less. For the Broncos, no surprise. Points in the paint, critical to their success. The big guys got to give them something inside, and they better win the rebound battle. If they do those two things, I think the Broncos have a chance to win tonight, because I think they'll get perimeter scoring. But can they score inside?
Mark Few,
wow.
15th year, and he has one of the greatest one-loss records ever. Look at the winning percentage, 803.
But here's the deal with Mark. 15 years, he's won 20 or more games every year. So figure that one out.
Do the math.
Do the math. So he's done a magnificent job at Gonzaga.
Gary Keating trying to break this 4-game losing streak. He's in his 7th season, and he is looking for a big upset tonight. So we're looking forward to this one. Santa Clara and Gonzaga inside the Levy Center. So we're set for tip-off. It'll be Ntonga. It'll be Dower. And a West Coast Conference basketball, we're underway. And Gonzaga will have the first possession. Pangos guarded by Clark out front. Great matchup there. David Stockton wearing number 11. Stockton guarded by Jalen Richard. Down inside, ball tapped around, and a turnover on the first possession. So see what the Broncos do offensively to start things. Dan, every time we have done a Santa Clara game, you say the same thing. The big guys got to score some points. It cannot be all backcourt play from Santa Clara.
Well, and you know they're going to get backcourt play, and that's a real plus for the Broncos to get Jalen Richards off with a score. Normally it's Clark and Brownridge that do the bulk of the scoring, but I think the key, Glenn, is how they defend Gonzaga. Can they do a good job on Karnowski? Can they limit the Zags to one shot? And that's the key. That's the key.
Dower along two, no good, and the ball drops into the hands of Brendan Clark. Clark jacks up a three, no good, and Gary Bell back in the starting lineup has the rebound, and he pushes it forward.
Great to see Gary Bell back. He hurt his hand and came back in a hurry. Missed 5 games, but he is an outstanding all-around player. And Mark Few happy to have him. This guy Dower is something else. Great pass, good give and go, but this is why Dower, now get this, shoots over 60% from the field. Takes high-quality shots. He's a tough cover.
Nice screen by MacArthur. So 3-guard offense with Richard, Clark, and Brownridge. The shot clock at 6. And Brownridge, his foot just inside the line, but he had hands in his face. Doesn't seem to bother Jared Brownridge. So that's his first basket tonight.
And there's no problem with Brownridge getting shots off. I mean, he is quick and can stop on a dime and make a shot.
Inside to Karnowski. Left-hander, and on the rim, and it drops in. So Schmidt Karnowski, the 7'1" sophomore from Poland, having a very nice season, and he's a handful. 7'1", 290 pounds.
Yeah, he really is. And here's the thing about Schmidt Karnowski.
he has really improved from last year to this year. He's starting to understand the game. May have been a language barrier, but this guy is going to be a tremendous player in the West Coast Conference. But he is active. Good block there. How do you like it?
So Karnowski with the big-time block. Patton goes the other way, and he gets it knocked out of bounds. So watch the block from Karnowski. Now again, 7'1".
7'1", but good timing. And what you love about this is Karnowski not only blocked it, but able to keep it in play and rebound it himself and initiate the break. One thing he's got to improve upon, and he's worked hard at it, is his free throw shooting. Teams will foul him. They're going to force Karnowski to beat him at the foul line. He will get fouled multiple times, and he's just got to do a little bit better job making free throws.
He can work on that, but you can't teach 7 foot.
No, you can't.
Pangos a runner, and Jalen Richard will push it up ahead to Brandon Clark. Brownridge kicks it back out. A three, no good. MacArthur with an offensive rebound, and that's what the Broncos need to do a lot of.
Well, you thought coming into this game, one of the real keys for Santa Clara, can they win the rebound war? Can they do a job of getting some second efforts? Has not been really their strength this season.
Great matchup with Brownridge, guarded by Gary Bell Jr., terrific defensive player. He is just chasing Brownridge all over the place. MacArthur, 18-footer, a little bit long, but a good look for John MacArthur, the senior. Karnowski just back it down. Coming in from the side was Jalen Richard, and he's called for the foul. And we got our first break inside the Levy Center. It's a 4-4 game.
Championship logo and win a $100 Chevron gift card brought to you by the West Coast Conference and Chevron. Erica, over to you.
Thanks, Jeff. Tonight's contestant is Scott. Scott, all right, let's get ready for your first round.
Hey, healthy smiles are in. Find your favorite dentist at deltadental.com and ensure a healthier mouth for life. Smiles of the game brought to you by Delta Dental. The Rough Riders are right behind us. That's the student section here in Santa Clara, and they are revved up tonight.
Well, it's great to see the students at the game. Dan Coonan, the athletic director, Glenn, was saying that 1,400 students bought tickets for this particular game. That's 1/3 of the student body. So this is the kind of support that teams need. You got to have the students at the game. They're sitting right across from the bench and very boisterous. So that's what college basketball is all about. Now Gonzaga with the ball out of bounds and get their trigger guy, David Stockton. Now watch Pangos, very dangerous on the out of bounds play. If you're going to run it out of bounds, you're going to try to run Pangos or Karnowski inside with a little bit of a lob. So you got to be alert. There's Pangos. Well defended. Good job by Santa Clara.
He was double teamed way out front. Stockton was open. He did not shoot it. See Evan Rock Roquemore in the game. He's guarding Pango's Roquemore, number 24. Bell gets cut off by MacArthur. Now Stockton does jack up a three, no good. Karnowski has the rebound, and he traveled. Shimek Karnowski had the rebound, but he shuffled the feet and called for travel. So a 4-4 game. Bank shot, Brandon Clark. I did not hear him call it, but I think he'll take it.
That said, Banks open, I'm taking it. Oh, stopped it right back. Good work. Good block by Clark. See if Santa Clara can get something in transition.
Roquemore, right wing, finds down low. Jerry Brown in the game. He kicks it back out. It ends up in the hands of Clark. Misses badly, but hustles after it. Cannot get it. Karnowski has it. Get a couple of substitutions for the Bulldogs at the whistle. Pango's blocked by MacArthur again.
Been a few blocked shots so far early by Santa Clara.
So MacArthur active on the defensive end.
Right, here's the first block by Clark. Good job to keep it in play, and then MacArthur with a little bit of D on his own.
Kyle Dranginis in the game, number 3.
And Dranginis is a very good all-around player, so is Barnum. So you got a couple of shooters in the game. And Mark Few's going to go a little bit smaller, put Dower in the middle.
And there is number 43, Drew Barnum, who has his shot knocked away. Bodies all over the place. So it's called the jump ball. Possession arrow points to Santa Clara.
Well, here's the defense. Again, a little bit short on that. I think Barnum got caught right underneath the rim, and then everybody on the floor, and Santa Clara will get the possession. Yeah, we've seen Santa Clara a number of times this year, and I'm sure Kerry Keating is saying this is the kind of enthusiasm and play we've needed for a while. Now, can they sustain it? Because you know Gonzaga, every place they go, they're going to get the best punch of their opposition. The place is always going to be packed. So they're used to the pressure, but can't Santa Clara respond?
MacArthur misses. Dranginis has it, number 3. Thought about shooting it. Pops out, Dranginis takes advantage, lays it high off the glass, bounces out. Broncos with a 6-4 lead. Inside, Brown, and he's fouled. Nice pass by MacArthur. He found Jerry Brown on the baseline. So Brown will step to the line.
And very good ball reversal that time by Roquemore. Look at the ball reversal to get it inside to Brown. Good read by MacArthur. Now MacArthur, I thought, had the shot, but he hasn't made either one of his attempts. So I think he's thinking pass now. But if he's wide open, he's going to hurt his team if he doesn't take that open shot.
Brown just a 54% free throw shooter, but he makes the first one to make it a 7-4 Santa Clara lead. Nate Cratch comes in, number 43. So Cratch in, and MacArthur will get a breather. Jerry Brown, the senior from Richmond, trying to make it back-to-back free throws. And that one rolls around and it ends. It's 8-4.
Now Mark Few was saying that Gonzaga now is an in-to-out team. That is, they're going to start and try to put the ball down low, look at Karnowski. When Dower's in the game, they're going to look at him and attack inside the out instead of attacking with their perimeter players.
Dranginis is fouled by Brown.
Well, Glenn, we talked about the great shooting of Gonzaga. Look what they're doing this year. I mean, they're second in the nation, not only in three-point field goal shooting, but in field goal percentage shooting. Now they're at 51.5.
That's amazing.
as a team, 51-5.
Yeah, that's not conference, that's in the nation.
It's in the nation. I think North Dakota State may be a little bit ahead of it. Is that a beautiful pass?
So Karnowski, the big fellow, with a nice look, and Gary Bell Jr. laid it in. It's 8-6.
Isn't that wonderful? That's great basketball. That's the game right there.
Made it look easy. Gonzaga averaging 80.7 points per game. That's second in the conference behind BYU. Santa Clara, 8th in the conference in scoring at 71.8. Clark with the left hand, loses control, and McGinnis has it. Bell for three, long, right there with the rebound, and Barnum had it. How he missed it, I do not know. Barnum was right there. He went up high, and he just somehow missed it.
Well, this is the opportunities, especially on the road. You got to take advantage of that. You know, concentrate when you're up there and try to follow that one in. That's one that got away.
Now Gonzaga, 3 for 12 from the floor. So the area where they're terrific at, simply making shots. That has not been the case early in this game. And a clear travel by Jerry Brown. So second turnover for Santa Clara, and we got our second break. 8-6, Broncos lead the Bulldogs.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, I would say when Karnowski gets the ball like right here, here's the guy that gets screened out, you know, and he goes right to the rim, and they go this way. Got to get a little help. He went over the top right here. That looks like Clark.
Clark got caught.
Clark got caught. That was Gary Bell, right, who made it. Okay. .42 left in the first half. Santa Clara with an 8-6 lead. But watch the execution by Gonzaga and the great play, the great pass by Karnowski. So ball, we're going to go here. Let's start it up. We're going to get Karnowski with the ball. Stop it here. Here's the ball. Look what happens to Brandon Clark. He gets caught. No help. Gary Bell on the back door, and watch the pass. Beautifully executed. Bell went over the top. There was no help, but what a pass by Shim Karnowski that time, just to bounce it on the deck, and good play by Bell. Play without the ball, move without the ball, you'll be rewarded.
Shooting so far, neither team hitting a lot of their shots. See if that changes. It's going to be a kick. Coming into the game is Robert Garrett. Garrett, the 7-foot junior, number 35 for Santa Clara.
And Garrett may play a pivotal role in this game, Glenn, because, you know, he's a match for Karnowski. Garrett's about, as you said, 7 foot in his own right. So he's going to have to play Karnowski strong and keep him away from the rim, which he didn't do right there.
A nice touch, Karnowski. A little jump hook from about 5 feet away. He's got a couple of baskets, and we're tied at 8.
He's skilled, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
When you really get a great chance to watch him up close, I mean, he's got, really has a nice game.
Cratch gets caught underneath, double team, kicks it all the way back out. Brownridge with a hand in his face, misses badly. is Gerard Coleman. Coleman length of the court, no good. Gary Keating wanted offensive goaltending.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought the ball was off the rim.
Barham for three. And Karnowski tried to tip it in, and he was pushed. So Shimmick Karnowski, to state the obvious, he's a handful underneath.
Oh, obviously. And what you love about him, he's got a nice touch for a big man. I mean, he's got good balance, and now he's going to go to an area that he's struggled. He's a sub 50% free throw shooter, and he shoots more free throws than anyone on this Gonzaga team. Oh, that's great. Good for him that he was able to get the first one in. Here's the move before. Here's the little jump hook. He's left-handed, of course, and he's got that sweet little jump hook that I love that big guys work on and develop. It's a hard shot to block, especially when you're 7'1", if you've got the jump hook.
And the first meeting of the year, which we talked about in our open, Karnowski went to the line 11 times. He made 6, and he makes both free throws there. So it's a 6-0 run early for the Bulldogs. They lead 10-8. Sam Dower, number 35, back in the game for Gonzaga. Inside, tries to lob it to Garrett. Good defense. And it's a turnover by Santa Clara. That's their third in the game. Gerard Coleman, left-handed.
Now, Coleman is quick, and he's a guy that can take it strong to the rack. You've got to guard him. Very active defensively.
And Guinness misses, then gets the ball back. Pangos has been quiet so far. Throws up a wild left-handed shot. No good. Jalen Richard pulls it down. Richard behind the back, nice pass. Cratch gets it to go, and he's fouled.
Boy, how do you like Jalen Richard?
So Nate Cratch, nice feed from Richard, and Cratch has a chance for a three-point play.
I thought Jalen Richard made really a very nice move with the behind the back, and then had the presence of mind to find Cratch on the break, who, by the way, got it right over Karnowski for the score. So this is something you haven't seen in Santa Clara in a lot of recent games. Quick transition, guys running the floor and finalizing play.
So a couple of freshmen, Richard to Cratch, and he gets the three-point play. Dower pops out. They look inside to Karnowski, and they throw it away. So Gonzaga picks up its third turnover.
It's interesting, too, that without Brownridge in the game for Santa Clara, and he doesn't come out very often. I mean, he's had a stellar freshman year. So now you know the scoring is going to be on Richards, it's going to be on Clark, it's going to be on Roquemore.
Richard. It's it tapped away, scrambles after it, regains, and then goes into the lane, and the official underneath is not sure what happened. Thought maybe it went off Richard, but it did not. It went off Gonzaga. Brock goes to inbound underneath. Not before Gary Bell comes back into the game.
Got to watch Clark. He's right here on the out of bounds. They love to go to Clark if they can set a screen for him. There he is.
A little leaner by Clark. No good. Dower pulls down the rebound. We talked about Gary Bell not... Actually, he did play in that game against Santa Clara earlier this year, and that's the game he hurt his hand. A nice pass there. So Gonzaga thrilled to have Gary Bell back in there and back in the starting lineup tonight, but he missed 6 games. He hurt his right hand. Sam Dower didn't play in that game either.
Well, yeah, Dower was hurt earlier in the year, and going up for a dunk and hurt his back, and he missed 5 games. And that's what we said in the open. Gonzaga really has not been 100% healthy. You know, there's still a couple guys out there aren't playing at full strength yet, but at least Mark Few's got everybody on the floor.
Tonga, tough shot, misses badly. Well, that's why you said in the open, that's why Gonzaga is really starting to become dangerous, because they're getting healthy. Jump hook, got it to go.
Nice pass by Gower.
Jimmy Karnowski. So he's got 8.
Very unselfish Gonzaga team. I mean, they look for each other. They're not looking to say, oh, I'm going to fire it up there. They are going to attack down low, and Karnowski really has delivered.
Cratch goes strong. No ball tapped around. Good defense by the Bulldogs and a foul call. So good start for Szymon Karnowski, 7'1" sophomore from Poland. He's got 8 points for the Bulldogs. 14-11 Gonzaga. Records by year for Santa Clara going back to 2009-2010 season. Highlight last year, they won 26 games, and you're saying, man, that's a lot. Well, the CBI tournament, they won a whole bunch of games, and they won the final game. So they won the CBI tournament, so it was against George Mason in the championship game.
Yeah, and you had to win 2 out of 3. That's the way that college basketball insider tournament works. And Santa Clara had a great year last year. Kevin Foster, unbelievable, making big shots at the end. And there was one that was missed right there, but Santa Clara, beat George Mason 80-70. So it was a great year for Kerry Keating and the Broncos. Certainly they lost some guys last year. There's no doubt about that. I mean, besides Kevin Foster, they had Mark Trasolini, Raymond Cowles III, Nee Harrison. So, I mean, they lost...
It's a lot of scoring.
Yeah, they lost a lot, and a lot of rebounding, because I really thought Trasolini was a key figure in their success. But they've regrouped. Brown Ridge is an outstanding freshman, and Santa Clara's dangerous in their building, and they will need a little bit more strength inside. Look at Coleman. That's one he should have gotten home. Surprised he missed it.
Now Santa Clara is sitting on a 4-game losing streak. Pacific, San Diego, BYU, and USF. And those 4 games all followed the Brown Ridge game-winning 3-pointer at St. Mary's. So you're thinking, boy, you win a game at St. Mary's on a buzzer beater, you got momentum, but since then, a 4-game losing streak.
And they came back and played a magnificent second half in that St. Mary's game. And Roquemore hit. Roquemore said, well, let's see, the shot clock's winding down. I'm about 41 feet from the rim. So why not just let it roll?
That's just the way Kerry Keating drew it up, and it worked. 3-pointer for Roquemore.
We need to run more plays like that. I'm open. I was wide open that time.
So we're tied at 14. Broncos needed a big bucket, and they got one. Stockton, nice move on the glass, and he drops it in. David Stockton, the 5'11" senior. Probably heard of his dad.
Well, David's climbing the ladder of assists and steals, and of course his dad obviously doesn't need any introduction. A great player, not only at Gonzaga, but obviously in the NBA. But David, you know, one thing I'll say about David, and we said this at the top of the show, I've seen him play his entire career. He's really improved every year. And he has a great understanding of the game, and tremendous court demeanor, and now he's a real offensive threat.
Coleman gets bumped. Gerard Coleman fouled on the play. So watch Roquemore, who lost possession and then grabbed it and realized, I got to probably get a shot off here.
He made a good move just getting that ball back because Coleman had it stolen. And then Roquemore said, well, I'm wide open. And of course, Evan, a great athlete in his own right. Track guy in high school. And he's had a nice career here at Santa Clara.
Gerard Coleman makes the first free throw. Jerry Brown comes in, and Tonga will sit down. Yannicka Tonga. Coleman, the 6'4" junior from Boston. So he makes both 18-14. Bulldogs lead. Brownridge so far with just one basket, a two-pointer.
Well, we thought perimeter defense was a key for Gonzaga, and they've done a real nice job on Brownridge. They're just popping out on him. Not only he, but all the Santa Clara guards. Boy, Roquemore got hit, I thought, by a teammate. Looked like MacArthur may have hit Brown with the ball. Roquemore. Well, he's okay. He's got the ball. He may let it go.
Roquemore tried to initiate some contact. Clark has it for three. Long. Stockton with the rebound. Up ahead to Dower. Big Sam Dower missed it. Here comes the Broncos again. The lob and overshoots Jerry Brown. And then they go back the other way. So good activity, but no baskets.
Right idea. You just have to make the right play. I'm shocked that Dower missed that little bunny taking it all the way in. I thought Dower had a little finger roll for an easy layup, but I think he was thinking he did not want to run over the defensive player. And in Santa Clara, I thought that was a high-risk play, just lobbing it from where Roquemore did. But
Gonzaga 7 for 22 from the floor. So 31%, they come in shooting 51% from the floor.
And with the lead. Well, you got Karnowski wide open.
And a jump hook with the right hand that time. Missed it. Brownridge. Now he's going to pull it out, reset. Richard gets caught in the baseline to Clark. Scratch can't hold it, and the ball is loose. And coming out of there with it, well, Stockton had it, lost it, and now he's got it back. And he's double teamed, no fouls called. And then a traveling. Well, through all that, it ends up being Gary Bell traveling. There may have been a chance to call 3 or 4 different fouls there.
I think the officials felt at this point, just let them go. I mean, guys are flying all over the floor, diving on the ground. And it ends up with a Gary Bell travel. Now Santa Clara with another opportunity, down 4.
Santa Clara has hit just 5 of 18 shots. That's 27%. Neither team doing a whole lot offensively. Maybe the defense deserves some credit.
Well, they sure do. But Gary Bell is doing a fantastic job on Brownridge. The whole Gonzaga team is just converging on the perimeter.
And Kratz traveled. He was trying to get it to Jerry Brown, and that's another turnover. 6 turnovers now for Santa Clara. Break time inside the Levy Center, 18-14 Gonzaga.
To Athletic Director Dan Coonan and SCU President Father Michael Ing in the amount of $1,460,756.
Gonzaga 18, Santa Clara 14, 3:30 to play in the first half. Coming up at halftime. Check out the WCC scoreboard. USF playing tonight. How about the Dons are playing terrific basketball?
Yeah, they are. They're on a little bit of a roll. They're playing well. They play Portland tonight. Steve Croner's here from the San Francisco Chronicle, Glenn, with some interesting picks. And he's going to tell you the best freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and first half highlights and stats. So it's coming up at halftime.
Yeah, Steve Croner covering the WCC for the San Francisco Chronicle. Does a terrific job. So see if he puts Jared Brownridge on his freshman class. I think he will.
I would say yes.
Think he will.
I would say yes. Well, so far, Gonzaga has not made a three-point field goal attempt. Remember, they're number 2 in the country in three-point shooting, behind Creighton, who leads the country. But they have not, of course, they've only taken 3, so they have not had a lot of attempts. But in Santa Clara, well, maybe Roquemore. See, here's the deal with Roquemore. He's been shooting too close to the basket. So he needs to move away. He seems to be better when he shoots from deep.
Well, he's got a couple of threes, and Evan Roquemore has made it an 18-17 game, and now a foul called on the Zags.
Well, if it's Karnowski, I believe it's his second. So well, you know, here's the thing. I mean, I know they called a foul, but I think anybody that runs into him is going to go down.
No question.
I don't think you can get into that body and stay up. And I don't think he intentionally used his body to knock the defender down. I just think he's so big and strong that you run into him, he goes down. You know, that's one of the big disadvantages of being a real big, good player, that it seems like every time a smaller player hits you, he goes down and you get a foul.
Roquemore working hard. Richard misses the 3, but Brown has the rebound. So Jerry Brown active underneath. Inbounds to Cratch. Roquemore guarded by Barham, who's back in the game, number 43. So the shot clock sitting at 15. Roquemore throws it up, missed it, a whistle. And it's going to be on Evan Roquemore. So Roquemore, offensive foul.
Well, no question there. The defender was way outside the restraining circle, and I think they're in plenty of time. Now, if the offensive player is in the motion of shooting the ball and you move in, you know, the emphasis this year, you're gonna get a block. But I thought right there, that was a good call.
Losing control is Angel Nunez, number 2. Nunez just comes in the game, and Gonzaga turns it over again.
Well, Gonzaga really going small now. I mean, when you get Karnowski and Dower out of the game together, you know, Barham may be the biggest player on the floor. He and Nunez are, you're looking at 6'7" guys. So now, you know, Jerry Brown may be a viable, he's right there. He may be a viable option right here for Santa Clara.
And he's guarded by Angel Nunez, who just came in the game. Pushing and shoving underneath, and they're going to get Gary Bell. There's a fair amount of contact down underneath. So Bell picks up his first foul.
And only the 4th team foul on Gonzaga. So they have a couple of fouls to take. If they can foul as long as Santa Clara's not in the act of shooting. Well, this is dangerous right here for the Broncos. A Bell, well, that's still a proactive foul by Gary Bell. That's the kind you want to go after.
So Clark won after it, and Nick Coleman, little push. Not a lot, but a little bit. And they get Gerard Coleman, but a very dangerous pass. So.
Yeah, that was Coleman, rather, not Bell. It was Coleman.
So Santa Clara start again. That's a travel. Easy call, Jerry Brown, who maybe out a little further than he should be, and that is the 8th turnover. And the look on Kerry Keating's face is not thrilled with 8 turnovers and not thrilled with 6 for 20 shooting from the floor.
One thing Gonzaga has to do is find a way to get Kevin Pangos, get him off with a little confidence. He needs to get rolling. Had a great shot there. I thought that was a good one off the motion. It just didn't go down.
Pangos does not have a point. That's hard to believe. Clark missed it. Cratch with the rebound, and he gets it to go. And he's fouled. Nate Cratch. Good minutes off the bench.
Yeah, he's had an impact in the game. Remember, Cratch made that beautiful follow in the open court earlier, and here, opportunistic. And with a smaller Gonzaga team on the floor, Cratch and Brown can do some damage on the glass.
Cratch, the 6'6" freshman from Watertown, Minnesota. He's got 5, misses it. Contact, and it's going to be a foul. And it's going to be on Brandon Clark.
If it's Clark, it'll be the 7th team foul on Santa Clara. So this is an opportunity for Pangos to get on the board. Be a one-on-one opportunity.
They're just cleaning up the floor down there. So Pangos
will normally
shoot free throws, and he just doesn't miss.
He doesn't miss many. Let's just put it that way.
He's 62 for 68. It's a 91% on the free throw line. One of the best free throw shooters in the country. Kevin Pangos, 7th in the country in free throw percentage. Knocks that one home.
Just one of many players from Canada, from Ontario, and of course Kevin's had really a great career at Gonzaga. More to come. He's a junior, and he'll get off. This is great for Kevin. It's going to get him a little confidence. Always nice when you haven't scored. You get to the foul line, make 3 or 4. And now all of a sudden the next shot's a little freer.
The 2 free throws, his first 2 points of the game. Brownridge just 1 for 2 from the floor, but he makes a nice pass, and look who's doing it again, Nate Cratch.
Well, here's the look by Brownridge and Kerry Keating going right inside. And one thing I'll say about Cratch, he's a very good athlete, and he's got super hands. That was not an easy catch. That was in traffic. And the good vision that time by Brownridge, but Cratch had to have those hands ready. And then good move to get it up and in, and this time complete the three-point play.
So he's got 8 points, and it's a 2-point Santa Clara lead. 25 seconds left here in the first half. It has not been a pretty first half, but it's been entertaining, and the Broncos have to be happy with where they are at. The W.TV is your home for West Coast Conference action. It's featuring 17 live exclusive WCC men's basketball games, and they're available free of charge. Visit the W.TV from your browser, smartphone, tablet, or connected TV for a complete schedule. The W.TV, all the action, anytime, anywhere. So Kerry Keating and the Broncos trying to break a 4-game losing streak, and they're playing with a little extra fire tonight. But they're also seeing one of the best teams in the country in the Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs, you know, they don't have Karnowski and Pangos on, and Dower on the floor. And Santa Clara's really taken advantage of it. Cratch has been very effective near the rim. The Broncos have attacked the glass. So Karnowski's got the 2 fouls. So they'll be sitting there. They'll be ready to go the second half. I think we should have 6 fouls in college basketball anyway. Why do we take the best players out that have 2 fouls? People come to see the best player. They don't want them on the bench.
I agree. 5's not enough.
5 is not enough. The game is played at a different level now than it was 50 years ago.
And an offensive foul on Sam Dower. Dower picks up his second. He was backing in. See, he knew he had the mismatch on Clark, but so Dower with 2, Karnowski with 2, and timeout Santa Clara. So Kerry Keating wants to get a play that he can get a good shot off with 4.7 seconds left, if that's possible.
Okay, Kerry took the timeout because he had to take one. You know, it's either take it or lose it. So here's your last 4 games for Santa Clara. And look at the 0 wins, and see the points and the field goal percentage and the 3 points. So it really has not gone their way, but they're making it, you know, different in this game. So you got to get those points and field goal percentage. You got to get them to the right side of the ledger if you're going to win some basketball game here.
55% the opponents are shooting during that 4-game losing streak.
So I would say right now, if you're Santa Clara, you better look at Brownridge or Clark. Clark's the quickest guy on the floor, number 3. So they're going to try to go deep. No, they're not. Or Roquemore. Roquemore's fast in his own right.
Roquemore, he's going to get a shot off, and it bangs off the backboard. No good, and we have reached halftime. Set inside the Levy Center. Great crowd tonight. They're into it. And the Broncos with a 22-20 lead over Gonzaga. Our halftime's coming up next, so stick around.
Welcome to the floor, your Santa Clara dance team.
Well, the 2014 West Coast Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Championships will return to the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas on March 6th through the 11th as 10 men's and 10 women's teams compete for their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Visit WCCSports.com for complete event and ticket information. So March 6th through the 11th again in Las Vegas. So check it out. Always a great tournament. It'll be a great tournament again this year, no question about that. Here inside the Levy Center on the campus of Santa Clara University. Not a real pretty first half, Dan, but Santa Clara says, hey, we got a halftime lead, 22-20 over the Bulldogs. So a big game going on up north in the city, and the USF Dons are going to win again. And that's going to be their third in a row, and they're going to go to 7-3. So that's a big story. USF playing great basketball.
Well, and Cole Dickerson leads them again with 21-5. And look at Pinkins, who had a big game, and Avery Holmes, who's played very well. So, and we know this is a very good Portland team. Portland, don't forget, did beat Gonzaga just a couple of weeks ago. So that's a big win for San Francisco. And of course, they've got Gonzaga coming up, and that game is
Saturday at 7 o'clock.
You bet.
So Gonzaga at USF. When we come back, Steve Kroner from the San Francisco Chronicle is going to join us. He's going to tell us who he thinks are the best players in the West Coast Conference. Stick around. Okay.
Dave, how are you? Thank you for having me. Okay. Okay. Mark, how are you? Good to be seen.
Halftime in Santa Clara. The Santa Clara Broncos with a 22-20 lead over the Gonzaga Bulldogs. We're joined now by longtime San Francisco Chronicle writer Steve Kroner. Steve, you've done just about everything in this writing business. So now the WCC, you're covering it. Give us your impression of the conference this year.
Not this game.
Not this game. It's not that pretty, but this year.
This year, I think the top has gone down a little bit. I don't think St. Mary's, BYU, Gonzaga are quite as good as they've been in the past 3 or 4 years. I think the bottom has come up. I think the bottom teams, LMU, Santa Clara was a bottom team 2 years ago. I think the bottom has come up, so I think there's a much more competitive conference. I don't know if it's quite as good at the top.
So we're closing in on parity just a little bit at least.
Absolutely, I think so.
All right, so Steve's done something very interesting. He's going to give us who he thinks are his 2 top players in the conference in each class, starting with freshmen. Brownridge has got to be on your list.
Brownridge is number 1. You know, Glenn, it was easy to pick the number 1 guy in each class. The number 2 guy was really hard. I went with Jared Brownridge and Evan Payne. You know, Eric Mika from BYU and Gabe Levin from LMU very easily could have been in the second spot. Jared Brownridge, back-to-back 30-point games. I think he's a no-brainer.
All right, who are your sophomores? The 2 best sophomores in the conference, according to Steve Kroner.
That's Kroner, by the way. Kyle Collinsworth, to me, was a no-brainer again. He's maybe the most fun player in the conference for me to watch because he can go to the basket, he can shoot 3-pointers, he's really athletic, really good player. The second guy I picked was Stacey Davis. Could have gone with Avery Holmes from USF. Could have gone with Bryce Presley from Portland. Went with Stacey Davis.
And before we get to the juniors and the seniors, let's revisit Brownridge. How terrific has he been? He's got the look of a guy who's been playing a long time. He looks like a senior. He's only a freshman.
You know, your partner Dan Belwam, he told me before the St. Mary's Santa Clara game that he thought that Jared Brownridge as a freshman was better than Kevin Foster, and Kevin Foster's the all-time leading scorer at Santa Clara. I think he's right.
All right, Steve, let's get to the juniors and the seniors.
Okay.
Give me your two best junior players in the conference.
Juniors, again, the top guy is pretty easy. Tyler Haas, leading scorer in the conference, second year in a row. That's easy. The second guy, maybe it's a little Bay Area bias here. I went with Brad Waldo.
He's come a long way, hasn't he?
He is so much better than he was as a freshman. But if you're a Gonzaga fan and you're saying, what about Kevin Pangos? If you're a San Diego fan, you say, what about Johnny D? If you say that, I got no problem with it, but I'm sticking with Brad Waldo.
You could have made it easier on yourself and said maybe the top 4 or 5, but Steve said the top 2.
Dave Feldman said the top 2.
Here's your seniors. Sam Dower, we're seeing him tonight. A little quiet tonight, but he's terrific.
Yeah, Sam Dower, and he's overcome an injury for this season and is playing a lot better. To me, Stephen Holt, even though his numbers aren't great, he is the glue for St. Mary's, and he really has made the transition from being a shooting guard to being a point guard. And I think he's done as much as St. Mary's could ask of him.
All right, final question, and it's always the WCC question.
Right.
Do they get more than one team in the NCAA tournament?
And I'll give you the pat answer is I don't know. You could have as many as, I think, 3 right now, depending on how things go, or you could have as few as 1. The next 6.5 weeks will tell.
All right, Steve, great job covering the WCC, and you've been terrific for a long time at the Chronicle. Nice job. Thanks for stopping by.
Glenn, thank you, and the check will be in the mail.
Awesome. I appreciate that. All right, Steve Cronin from the Chronicle joins us. We'll have more halftime when we come back.
Digits 338, 338. Fifth winning ticket 009, 009. Sixth winning ticket 502, 502. Seventh winning ticket 324, 324. Eighth winning ticket, 837, 837. Ninth winning ticket, 542, 542. And the final winning ticket, 135, 135. Would like to recognize members of the Santa Clara Corporate Partner Program. Special thanks to Coca-Cola, One Workplace, Bernardi's Markets, Defcon Construction, Ignite, Concur Solutions, and Providence. If you haven't already, you can purchase tickets to this game and more at the ticket office, online at SantaClaraBroncos.com, or by calling
22-20 halftime inside the Levy Center. Broncos leading the Bulldogs. Dan Belwamney, Glenn Kuiper back at courtside. Well, it has not been a pretty basketball game. A lot of missed shots. Neither team shooting very well from the floor, but Dan, Santa Clara is winning this game only by 2 points, but the reason they're winning it is their bench. Bench has scored 16 of their 22 points.
Well, they've got great production out of the bench, and I'll say this, I thought it's been a defensive effort by both teams, and certainly you see Roquemore here, who did not start the game, but made a couple of big threes, and was very active, and I thought Cratch did a heck of a job, and here, tremendous pass by Richard on the break, and Cratch every place in the right time at the right place to make the final score. So a good effort by Jerry Brown, by Roquemore, by Cratch, and of course Karnowski is a load. I mean, when he's on the floor, I mean, he is tough to handle and very skilled for a big man, can pass the ball, and has a real understanding of the game.
Halftime stats are presented by the Coeur d'Alene Tribe Resort. It's all about you at the Coeur d'Alene Tribe Resort. Join us for a mouth-watering steak dinner for a pampering spa treatment. Rediscover the Coeur d'Alene Tribe Resort. So again, the field goal percentages are really the numbers that stand out. Just 27% for Gonzaga, and they're a terrific shooting team. Well, Santa Clara only 35%.
Well, Glenn, Gonzaga is the #2 field goal percentage shooting team in the nation at over about 51.5%. They're shooting 27%, and they've made a lot of turnovers. Points in the paint. Santa Clara is going to have to continue. They're going to have to correct that 6 to 12 deficiency if they think they're going to beat Gonzaga. They got to do better.
Short. West Coast Conference basketball is brought to you in part by Red Lion Hotels, your first choice for lodging on the West Coast. By Crusher Headphones from Skull Candy, bass you can feel. And by Vivid Seats, your home to premium seats for the 2014 WCC Championships. Vivid is the official ticket reseller of the West Coast Conference. Welcome back. Levy Center, second half action. We're set to go. Santa Clara 22, Gonzaga 20. So Santa Clara thinking about an upset, and it would be a big one. Gonzaga coming in 18-3 overall, 8-1 in the conference. Santa Clara 10-12 overall, 3-6 in the conference. There's your leading scores. Cratch off the bench with 8 points. And again, 16 of the 22 points scored by Santa Clara coming off the bench.
Yeah, and that's huge. And of course, Roquemore was big in the first half. So here's the key for Gonzaga. Now they've got Karnowski and Dower back on the floor. It's really critical that neither one of those players picks up an early third foul. Otherwise, I'm going to get on the bandwagon again for 6 fouls. Because, you know, they're going to come right out of the game if they pick up their third foul. So if you're Santa Clara, you might take a shot and go right at Karnowski on offense and see if you can get him in any trouble.
Early miss by Gonzaga. In the first meeting of the year, which was the conference opener, we talked about that game where Gonzaga won by 14. But Gonzaga shot poorly in the first half in that game as well, and then they turned it up in the second half. They shot over 60% in the second half of that game and ended up winning the game. Right back to Karnowski. He loses it. Brownridge grabs it. Brownridge is bumped, gets the shot off, and he'll step to the line.
Now, no doubt that Brownridge has a scorer's mentality. I mean, he's on the dead run. And here's the good help from the backside, a little bit of a deflection in Brownridge. I thought he might have had Richard on the wing for a wide open shot. But instead, Brownridge is so adept at going all the way to the rim that he thought he could make it, picked up the foul.
Brownridge, 5th in the conference in scoring at 17.2 points per game. Tonight, that's just his 3rd point. Don't be surprised if Brownridge goes off in the second half.
Well, we've seen him many times, and a lot of games, and you look where he sits right now in front of Rambis, who was a sensational player here back in the late 70s, and of course, the great Kevin Foster. But we've seen Brownridge many times, Glenn, with 3-4 points, and then all of a sudden he puts a streak on and ends up with 20 before the game's over.
Brandon Clark trying to work his way through a screen, knocked over Stockton, and Clark picks up his 2nd foul. So side out of bounds for Gonzaga and Gary Bell. So Brownridge and Pangos quiet offensively. Didn't think we'd say that tonight. Evan Pangos with just 2 points. Nice pass there, though. Pangos gets it inside to Karnowski, then dishes it out. Bell for 3, misses badly. Tonga hustles down the rebound. So the struggling shooting continues for Gonzaga. They just can't get anything to go. They are now 7 for 28 from the floor. Brownridge thought he was fouled.
Yeah, Brownridge took that one all the way in, but Karnowski again, you know, he's a guy that can defend the rim. There's no doubt about it. So he's got a couple of blocks in the game already.
Well, Brownridge has it.
Now they are really jumping out on Brownridge. And, well, that's a tough shot by Richard. Well, in most books, it's a tough shot.
So Jalen Richard gets his first 3-pointer, 27-20, and that's the biggest lead of the night for the Broncos. Pangos is bumped, and Clark picks up a couple of quick fouls here in the second half. He's now got 3 in the game.
And Glenn, Jalen Richard many times goes unheralded because of Brownridge. You know, he's only a freshman. And you look at that, now that's an interesting graphic there on the season. Number 2 in the country in field goal shooting at 51.5 tonight. 7 of 28.
Strong move by Karnowski inside. Not a whole lot you can do if you're John MacArthur there.
But what I like about that move, Karnowski went toward the basket. He did not fade away or shoot the jump hook. If I'm Shimmick Karnowski next time, I'm going to power move it right to the rim. I think he's a little concerned. He doesn't want to commit an offensive foul. But he made a brilliant move there. Now let's see if Gonzaga, to Stockton, to score. No, he couldn't make it. I thought that would be an easy one.
And now Santa Clara pushes the other way. And Richard gets it knocked away. And here comes Pangos. Pangos drops it in. He let a couple of defenders fly by, and then he laid it in. 4 points for Kevin Pangos. Comes in averaging 16.
Well, I say give it to Atanga inside. Atanga had position. Karnowski with another block. See if they're going to get a foul on it. They're going to get a foul? Well, here's Pangos, who does a real nice job of stealing the ball, then has very good court awareness and presence of mind. A, not to travel. B, to get the ball in the right spot at the right time and then hit it off the sweet spot and wait for all the traffic to go by. And C, give himself confidence, and that's what he needs. That was a big score.
Well, Jalen Richard steps to the line. But the story is the foul was called on Shimmick Karnowski, and that's his 3rd. Karnowski was asking the official, I don't know what I did. What did I do? And they said he...
Well, the official said there was a glancing blow to the side of the head. That's what he said.
So Karnowski's going to sit down.
And Karnowski probably said, if it was a glancing blow, the player wouldn't be standing.
Let's see. Well, maybe a little bit of contact, but not much. Kyle Dranginis, number 3, is the guy who replaces Karnowski. So obviously a much smaller lineup when Karnowski comes out. So the foul is on Jalen Richard, and could be that the officials are trying to tighten this up a little bit. A lot of fouls called in the first 3.5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, it's a rugged game. I mean, both teams excelling at the defensive end. They're running through screens. They're playing hard. And the officials got to, I think they do have to have a tight whistle in the second half.
Stockton knocks over Atonga, and that's where the foul was called. Offensive foul on David Stockton, his second. So Coleman in, Stockton out.
Now, I think that one could have gone either way right there. It looked like Atonga stepped in his path. And that one I'm not 100% sure. I think if I were making that call, I'd call it a block, not a charge. That's me. But the official was right on it, and that's what he felt.
Brownridge into the middle, lays it in. He works really hard to get his shots off.
Well, and the other thing about Brownridge, Glenn, everybody has the mindset he's a perimeter guy. He's really a guy that can stop on a dime and slash to the rim, and it could also make the outside shot. This guy is the total package.
And right now, Santa Clara up by 7.
Stephanie won the WCC cross-country individual title, the first in program's history. Stephanie also made the NCAA All-American team that same year after advancing to the NCAA cross-country championships. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us in congratulating Stephanie Wilson on her Bronco success.
Well, 16:06 left in the second half, and Santa Clara with a nice lead, 31-24. And there's Brownridge, who can put it on the deck. He can make plays, and he's one of the top guys, top leading scorers in the league. And Glenn, you look right there. Of course, Tyler Hawes, one of the leaders in the nation at 23-6, and Ireland, who's had a great career at LMU, and Brandon Clark right here at Santa Clara, and Kevin Bailey, who's an outstanding player in his own right. And there's Brownridge. So there's your top scorers in the West Coast Conference.
Brownridge tonight just 6. But don't be surprised if at the end of the night, he's got 20. Because he can score, and he can score quickly. 31-24. Santa Clara has lost 6 consecutive games to Gonzaga. Last time they beat the Bulldogs was 2011.
Well, I think Kerry Keating's only won once in his career against Santa Clara. I think he's won in, 15? But, of course, Gonzaga does that to everybody. I mean, they've dominated the West Coast Conference over the years.
Well, last year, Gonzaga 16-0 in the conference. And, of course, Gonzaga last year, #1 seed in the tournament.
Well, and people forget that they lost Kelly Olynyk, Elias Harris, Guy Landry, Mike Clark. I mean, they lost a lot of guys last year.
Hasn't hold them down.
September 29th, Coach Smith notched his 400th career victory and is one of only 3 coaches in NCAA Division I to reach the 400-win plateau. With a career record of 410 wins, 126 losses, and 52 ties, Coach Smith has built the Bronco women's soccer program into a national powerhouse. Smith has led the Broncos to 24 NCAA tournament appearances, 19 of which have been in consecutive seasons. He has led his team to 10 West Coast Conference titles, 10 Final Four appearances, and 1 national title. Presenting Coach Smith with his varsity jacket and a bouquet of roses is Associate Athletic Director Stacy Gustafson and Director of Athletics and Recreation Dan Cooning. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for Santa Clara women's soccer head coach Jerry Smith, the all-time winningest coach in Santa Clara history.
(31-26) Santa Clara over Gonzaga. Play of the game brought to you by Supercuts. Get in, get confident, and we're going to give it to Evan Roquemore, who's had a big night off the bench for Santa Clara.
Yeah, if there's ever a big shot right here, this is our Supercuts play of the game, and Roquemore was huge in the first half. Great recovery. Almost stolen here by Coleman, but Roquemore got it back and then went ahead and drilled it in for a big 3. One of 2 threes he had in the first half.
And we talk about Roquemore coming off the bench, but I mean, he's been a 3-year starter, but this year starting to come off the bench a little bit more. So not a bad guy to be able to bring off the bench.
And you look at his career and what he's done. So this guy's really a solid player, and he's going to give you everything he's got. And he's a quick defender. You know, we talked about Gonzaga. Remember last year, they went 16-0 in the conference. Yep. Now, that's not easy to do. And let me get his name right. Guy Landrietti, Mike Hart, Elias Harris, and of course the great Kelly Olynyk, who's playing more now with the Boston Celtics and doing a tremendous job. And still, this Gonzaga team is 18-3 and they haven't been healthy. So, you know what? Mark Hugh has got the Bulldogs in the right place, but they need to kind of get it in gear here now in the last 15 minutes, and they can.
So they go to the NCAA tournament as a #1 seed. So they had to be disappointed, and they were able to beat Southern University, but then they lose to Wichita State. And if you're #1 seed, you're thinking, hey,
we're going all the way through, but Wichita State's ended up going to the Final Four. And by the way, I know they still have to play Indiana State. That game's coming up, but Wichita State could be undefeated going into the NCAA tournament. Now, there's Brian Sabian. I know that guy. I got a trade for Brian.
There's probably a few people who've thrown ideas his way. General manager of the San Francisco Giants. What's he doing here, you may ask? His son, Brendan, one of his boys, is the manager for Gonzaga. Brian and his wife Amanda are here to see Brendan and enjoy the game. So 31-28, a couple of free throws by Dower.
Well, it looks like Gonzaga's going to switch it up and go zone, and primarily because they're trying to stay out of foul trouble. Good rebound by Dower. Keep Dower in a position where he can rebound the ball, not guard anybody one-on-one, and limit his fouls.
Foul called on Brownridge. Second on Brownridge as he bumped Kevin Pangos.
And 6th team foul on Santa Clara. And one thing about Gonzaga, they're an excellent free throw shooting team. So you don't want, if you're playing in, you certainly don't want Pangos and Bell and all these, and Stockton, all these guys to foul out.
Pangos, quick move, throws it up off the glass, missed it. Tonga pulls down the rebound.
Brownridge, and he's right over here with the ball, and he is the key guy. I'm surprised he missed that. That's like a layup for most guys. I mean, I thought he was going to put that one home, wide open, 12-footer.
Bell loses it, but he's called for a foul, and did not look like a foul, and it was called on Denzel Johnson, who just came in the game. Was it on Johnson? Now they're saying Atanga. Either way, Gary Bell is going to step to the line. And it's in.
Well, certainly, Glenn, Gonzaga can win this game at the free throw line. I mean, they've got Santa Clara in real jeopardy. The Broncos with 17 fouls. And you get the guys like Pangos and Bell with the ball, and they're going to make every free throw. So this is a tough spot right now for Santa Clara. And Karnowski back in the game. And see if they stay zoned or if they go man-to-man. I would suspect that the Bulldogs will stay zoned. You get a great look at it right there. See if they stay zoned. Well, I think they showed zone. Now they're going man-to-man. Gave the illusion of a zone, but now back man-to-man. Well, why not go right at Karnowski if Atanga can get big in there? Well, he was wide open. They couldn't find him.
Shot clock under 10. Brownridge went up for a tough three, loses control, and then throws it wildly toward the basket. Nothing he could do there.
Yeah, watch Atanga right here. I mean, he is wide open in there, and that's what happens when you put a lot of pressure on the ball. You know, the guy with the ball was doubled, didn't have the vision, couldn't see through the defense. So that's kind of an area of adjustment that I think Kerry Keating's going to have to make in his staff to see if they can get Atanga the ball the next time.
Nice move by Gerard Coleman, laid it in, and it's an 8-0 Bulldog run, and they now have taken the lead 32-31.
But Gerard Coleman has been a real energizer in this game. That was a tough shot.
Coleman with 6 points off the bench. He's got 4 rebounds. Roquemore misses the three. So this is a pivotal point in the game for Santa Clara. You know a good team like Gonzaga is going to put a run on, and they have done that. And right now, Santa Clara having trouble on the offensive end.
No, I thought Dranginis made a heck of a pass, and Coleman just got caught under the rim. He just got himself into a bad spot. Yeah, here's your back door right there. I mean, he makes the play, but he gets caught right underneath the rim, hits the bottom of the backboard. So if you're Coleman, you've got to do a better job of knowing where you are on the floor, because Dranginis gave him a pretty good pass.
Denzel Johnson, number 20, getting some second half minutes. Nice pass to Atanga inside, and he missed it. Atanga was open. He got a nice dish, couldn't get it to go. And a big three by Gary Bell Jr., and it's an 11-0 run.
And the first three of the game for the Bulldogs. Timeout, Santa Clara. That's a big one. And Gary Bell knew it. He said, you know, we haven't made one all night. And he took it upon his shoulders. Good pass, good release, squared up. 11-0 run by the Bulldogs. And here again, Pangos, nice pass, and Bell got a great look. They're not going to continue. This is the number 2 field three-point shooting team in the nation. They're not going to continue to miss wide open threes. They're going to start making them at some point.
Yeah, Gary Bell shoots 46% from three-point range, and he drills that one. So 11-0 run, and just like that, the Bulldogs, they're flexing their muscles right now.
Well, now, if you're Santa Clara, boy, you really need to come out of this timeout with a solid play. There's your Gonzaga shirt with the GU.
If you're
they travel well.
I was going to say, if you're a Gonzaga fan, this is a pretty good trip, because Santa Clara and then Saturday night at USF. So you spend the weekend in the Bay Area. Not a bad place to do
Can't
that.
beat that. All right, now let's see defensively what Gonzaga does. They showed zone last time. Looked like they went a little matchup, but they went man-to-man after a pass or two.
Dan, USF won that game over Portland up on the hilltop. So USF is now 7-3 in the conference. How about that?
And how about Karnowski with another block? Now I think you go right back to him. Let's find him right here. See if you can run some motion, go high to low, and get him the ball at the right. Oh, they had him. Pass was just a little bit off, but he was wide open that time. That would have been an easy dunk.
So that's the 11th turnover for Gonzaga. An opportunity for Santa Clara where they need a bucket. Roquemore through the lane, the 13-footer. Back of the iron, no good. And coming out of there is Karnowski with the rebound. Karnowski's got 7 rebounds in the game. Pangos gets caught underneath. Jerry Brown picks him up. Kratch had it, and he ends up getting it to Brandon Clark. Clark pushing, and Clark is going to be fouled. So Brandon Clark back in the game. He had a pretty good break. So Clark will step to the line when we come back. It's a 35-31 Gonzaga lead.
Report to the kids' corner in section 112 to claim a lost item. Again, Marjorie Short. Marjorie Short. Please report to the kids' corner in section 112.
Here's your game summary. It's 35-31. Gonzaga leads. Santa Clara had a 2-point lead at halftime. Neither team shooting very well at all. And right now, Danny, the problem is Santa Clara hasn't scored a point in 5 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yeah, no, they've been on 31 for a long time. Had a 31-24 lead. Look at the points in the paint. And we thought that was as scripted. Gonzaga with a 20-6 advantage, points in the paint. So that is huge. And now Clark's going to get to the foul line and see if the Broncos can put a point on the board. They haven't for the last 5 minutes.
And a free throw rattles around and drops home. Brandon Clark with just 3 points tonight. Clark showed you earlier, 3rd in the conference in scoring, so he's been quiet.
And Brownridge, for him, has also been quiet. So it's hard to believe that Santa Clara is still in the game with both those players not scoring, you know, their normal amount.
Down by 2. David Stockton back in the game. And Guinness, Gerard Coleman, he's had good minutes off the bench for Gonzaga. Three, and that was pretty. Kyle Dranginis hits his first three, gets his first points of the game, and he is another sharpshooter from three-point range.
Well, this team shoots it too well to continue to miss wide open threes. And there's Brandon Clark attacking.
He just dropped it right over top of Karnowski, the 7-footer, and it's a three-point game. So Santa Clara will not go away. 9 minutes, 40 seconds left in the basketball game.
Well, you got a mismatch if you get Karnowski the ball right here. You've got a mismatch if he can turn. See if he turns.
And Cratch hustling, and he ends up with the basketball.
Yeah, Cratch has done a pretty good job.
Clark is fouled. Now give Nate Cratch credit. He has his hands full inside with Karnowski.
Here's the move all the way to the rim by Brandon Clark. And then Cratch does a good job at the other end to defend, to rebound the ball. Clark's starting to get going a little bit. He's lightning quick all the way to the rack.
Watch yourself, Gary.
The foul was on Gerard Coleman, his second. So 5 team fouls on Gonzaga. Clark loses it, and Stockton has it. Nice pass to Bell. Bell blocked, and Clark comes away with it. Roquemore spin, glass, good.
How do you like the move by Roquemore and Clark all over the floor? How do you like it, Santa Clara?
1-point Bulldog lead. Stockton slips, throws it away, and Santa Clara basketball. 13 turnovers for Gonzaga. Stockton got in the lane, he just slipped.
Well, here's Roquemore who scored at one end and deflects at the other. Here he comes. Look at this move, a little spinner one-hander, and he did get the roll. So Roquemore has been huge in this game, but a brilliant defensive play, and he took it over at the offensive end.
Chance for the Broncos to take the lead. Brownridge was able to corral and hold on, and Santa Clara will start over. Shot clock at 5. Roquemore finds Clark a long three, and it's partially blocked, and Stockton will grab it. So not a good offensive sequence for Santa Clara, especially with a chance to take the lead. And coming right back with a three is Gary Bell. And Bell has 10, and he's hit a couple of monster three-pointers here in the second half.
Yeah, Bell's been big, good transition, nice move to bring it all the way down and get a great look. And looks like Gonzaga right back in the zone.
8 second-half points for Bell. 4-point lead for the Bulldogs.
Now this is what's open, because Gonzaga's really defending the exterior, really doing a nice job. The interior is there, but you know, Dower's a tough guy to shoot it over.
So Evan Roquemore trying to keep the Broncos in the game, and Gary Bell answers right back. It's a good one, folks, 41-37. Zags 41, Santa Clara 37. Hey, it's our Subway sub of the game. We're going to give it to Nate Cratch. Let Subway restaurants help you keep your resolution to eat fresh. Introducing Genuine. Enjoy any regular footlong for just $5 all month long. Keep your New Year's resolution by visiting Subway today. Participating stores only. See store for details. You get all that?
I got it all, but our Subway sub of the game,
Nate Cratch.
yeah, he has played well. He scored the points in the first half, second half. He, right place at the right time, good rebounder, understands the game, got on the floor to deflect it, give his team possession, and yeah, Nate's played solid.
8 points, 3 rebounds in 15 minutes off the bench for the freshman from Minnesota, Nate Cratch.
Athletic family. His dad was a football player at Iowa, won a Super Bowl ring with the Giants. His mom, Christy, was a high jumper at Iowa. His sister, he has a brother, rather, Oliver, who's was a football player at Toledo. So, the guy comes from a very athletic family. And probably a lot was asked of him when he was a young guy growing up, but he's a fine all-around player.
7 minutes to play from the Levy Center.
I think a big possession right here for the Broncos. They need something positive to happen because Gonzaga's on a little bit of a roll. See if Cratch can get this one.
3, no good. Clark scrambles for the rebound, and they're going to call a foul right here. It's going to be on Gary Bell. So Brandon Clark, very aggressive going after the offensive rebound, and he made contact with Gary Bell, and the foul's on Bell, his 3rd.
Well, they had a great look. I mean, Cratch took a good look at it. Bell with the foul, out of bounds. It will go to Santa Clara. 6th team foul on Gonzaga.
And the ball is thrown away, and that may just send Kerry Keating over the edge. That just cannot happen.
Especially when you have it. They have not really, the Broncos, executed their out-of-bounds plays. They were fortunate on a couple to get them back. They just relied on throwing the ball deep. And the Bulldogs very aware of that. Is Bell going to do it again? You bet he is.
Wow.
You bet he is.
Well, the last 2 minutes have been tough for Santa Clara, thanks to Gary Bell. Bell's got 13, 11 coming in the second half.
No accident that they're running motion and plays for Bell right now. They really missed it. Had the bad hand, hurt his hand, in fact, broke the bone and healed quickly. He's back in the lineup, playing at full strength, and really, they've got Santa Clara on the ropes right now. Broncos need a productive trip here.
And another miss. Karnowski is fouled as he had the rebound, and Roquemore fouled him.
Well, they did a great job to get Gary Bell open. Screen and then bring him right around. Screen and bring Bell right back. Screen for the screener and Bell wide open. That was really well executed. And again, Glenn, that's not an accident. Mark Few knows he's got the hot hand with Gary Bell Jr. They're going to run plays for him, and he is just bringing the Bulldogs right back and on top, and now a 7-point lead.
And Karnowski drops in the first free throw. That's a pretty good stroke from the free throw line for Jimmy Karnowski.
Now, Mark Few was saying that he has really worked extremely hard on his free throw shooting. Now, he didn't get that. He says sometimes he gets into a rhythm where he misses a couple, and then he's trying to make adjustments at the foul line. He's got a good rotation. He's got a nice release. He has shot him reasonably well tonight. He's 3 of 4.
Well, it's a 7-0 run for Gonzaga. Remember, it was 38-37. Now it's 45-37. Catch again, a 3, miss it. Atonga hustling for the rebound, and he and number 4 Kevin Pangos get tangled up.
Just a competitive rebound. Both players going after it. Get a little bit tangled up. Emotions of the game.
So Roquemore inbounds under his basket, and again they have trouble getting it in, and they go deep to Clark.
Gonzaga trying to match up. Now don't forget, the soft spot's right in the middle. If you can get someone in the middle, like they've got Roquemore right there. I'm a little surprised they didn't look at him.
Tough three by Clark, missed it. And a whistle, and it's going to be a foul. And it's going to be on Santa Clara as Sam Dower got the rebound, and then he got pushed from behind, knocked over.
A little overzealous that time by Brandon Clark, and he just went after it, or rather by Kratz, rather, who tried to get in there and just recover the ball, and Dower will get to the foul line.
Dower just 6 points tonight, comes in averaging 14 and a half. Drops the first one in.
And remember this about Dower, another guy who's a brilliant free throw shooter for a big man. I mean, he gets to the foul line. He's got a nice touch. Came off the bench in his early career, but you know, he's a terrific all-around player. I mean, this guy, another guy with fantastic court demeanor, understands the game. He's a powerhouse inside, good defender.
4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. So the run is now 9-0 for Gonzaga.
Well, you thought early in this half, Glenn, that as soon as Santa Clara got in jeopardy in terms of fouls, that Gonzaga had a great chance to make a run and win this game at the foul line. That's exactly what they're doing, and they've tightened up the defense. The matchup zone has really befuddled Santa Clara. They get one there off of deflection, but not many open shots have occurred in the second half for the Broncos.
First basket of the night for Yannick Atanga. 47-39, 4.5 minutes left. Gonzaga will be at USF on Saturday. Santa Clara will host Portland on Saturday. Well, Kratz with the foul. A couple of games coming up tomorrow night. Pacific at BYU. Remember BYU, they had won 5 in a row, Dan, but then last weekend they lose at Portland and they lose at Gonzaga. So BYU 5-4 right now in the conference.
But tough at home. Yeah, they're tough. They're tough to beat Provo.
So Pacific at BYU tomorrow, and also St. Mary's at San Diego. The Gales have won 4 in a row, so they are sitting at 6-2 in the conference. So they're starting to play well. They'll try to control Johnny D, who was the Conference Player of the Year last week. So St. Mary's at San Diego. So those two games, again, tomorrow night. Free throw drops in by Sam Dower. He's got 10.
And you know, Gonzaga's going to extend that zone, extend the matchup. Try not to give the Broncos anything good on the perimeter with their guys that can really shoot it well from three. I think they're willing to give up anything inside. Now, see, that's a contested three. Oh, they're going to foul it more.
So maybe a 4-point play for Evan Roquemore. And boy, if ever Santa Clara needed a 4-point play, it would be now. So it's a 49-42 game. Roquemore will step to the line. Gonzaga 49, Santa Clara 42. Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by A to Z Rentals, where no job is too big or too small. Let A to Z Rentals be your most valuable player. Tonight, player of the game is Gary Bell Jr., 6'2", junior from Kent, Washington. And Danny, tonight he was in the starting lineup, but since coming back from the hand injury, he was coming off the bench for a little bit. But they got him back in the starting lineup tonight. Kind of eased him back in after that injury, and he looks okay tonight.
Yeah, and playing terrific basketball, and I think he's got, he feels good about his health. His hand feels fine, and Mark Few put him in the starting lineup. Shot the ball well from three, has made some big shots in the second half, so congratulations to Gary Bell. I mean, he's done an outstanding job tonight leading this Gonzaga team. Now they're going to try to finish it and see if they can play the last 3:47 here and not foul guys when they're shooting three-point shots. So, as you said earlier, if Santa Clara ever needed a four-point play, this was it. They were down 10.
Roquemore, nice stroke from the free throw line. So, it's 49-43. Broncos not out of it yet. Plenty of time. And a timeout called as Van Guinness could not get it in. So the Bulldogs will use that timeout to reset. And we're going to let you know that the West Coast Conference and Chevron have teamed up to provide one lucky winner a VIP experience to the WCC basketball tournament in Las Vegas. To enter, visit WCCSports.com. No purchase necessary. See official rules for details. March 6th through the 11th, the WCC tournament, men's, women's, and you're in Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, come on. I mean,
fun and then a little more fun.
And we know it's going to be a great tournament. So a little bit of a different format this year with you've got 10 teams, but 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9, 1 through 6 will get that first round bye. So
the days of the really just
double buys are over.
Double buys, yeah,
they're over.
Come right in, walk right into the semis, right?
Yeah, you've got a 10-team lead. You see Gonzaga and St. Mary's that have dominated that tournament. Now the press, proactive Santa Clara going to try to take a chance for a steal. But there's still plenty of time. But what they need is some stops down here, which has not been easy. Because Dower and Karnowski are just tough to handle. And Gary Bell is starting to really shoot the ball well.
And there he is, and he missed the three, and the rebound is pulled out of there by John MacArthur. Brownridge trying to break free. Zags have been all over Brownridge tonight. Clark with floater, and he gets it to go over Karnowski. 8 points for Brandon Clark. That is not easy to do. He's got it twice over Karnowski.
Well, just when you think Santa Clara is like in real trouble, now they've run off 6 straight, and still plenty of time.
They need another stop. Bell on the baseline.
Well, he is wide. Karnowski is wide open in there. Good pass by Karnowski. Didn't get the shot down, but good pass, good look.
But Van Guinness missed it. Another opportunity for Santa Clara. Dower is guarding Brownridge.
Well, Brownridge does have a flair for the dramatic. I mean, we've seen him make some really hard shots at the end of games.
Clark again gets the offensive rebound, flips it back in, and it's 49-47.
8 straight by Santa Clara.
And this sellout crowd is really into it now. Under 2 minutes to play. Bell blocked. Ball, and they're going to call a foul. So Gary Bell went hard to the basket.
Well, here's Brandon Clark, who's been a little bit quiet, not shooting it great from the field, and all of a sudden he's come alive. Misses that one, but look at opportunistic right place at the right time, and Santa Clara's run off 8 in a row. And now Gary Bell Jr. will go to the foul line for a couple of free throws. It's one thing about college basketball, it's never in the bank.
No.
Don't start the bus yet. There's still a lot of time left.
That three-point shot is short. Maybe too short, right, Danny?
Well, I think so. I think they can move the line back. I think they can move it to the international line without any trouble at all.
Free throw rattles around and goes down for Gary Bell. So Gary Bell now 14 points. Comes in averaging 12 and a half. Second one is good. 51-47. Free throws are helping Gonzaga hold on to their lead.
Now Santa Clara has to keep their foot on the gas. They can afford any empty trips. Roquemore's been huge, but Brandon Clark has made some big shots. They've defended. Gonzaga's really defended well on the exterior. They haven't really given Brownridge many looks.
Brownridge gets it to MacArthur in the middle. Long three by Roquemore.
Has Roquemore made some shots or what? Can you believe it?
So the senior's got 15 points, and it's a 1-point game. So a timeout on the court. This was a long one, folks.
Well, and Roquemore's in rhythm. I mean, one thing about Evan Roquemore, he feels it. And Santa Clara knows they need some big, big shots. Now, he was way out. He's past the pro line there. You know, you can bring the line way out. It wouldn't matter to Roquemore. And Santa Clara now down 1 with 1:22. You just play normal defense if you're the Broncos. I mean, there's no reason to go out and foul. And now if you're Gonzaga, now it's critical they run their motion, maybe attack inside to out.
So this is what's coming up for Gonzaga. As we told you, they are at USF on Saturday. Boy, that should be a terrific game with a great atmosphere up on the hilltop. Then Portland at Memphis, 22-ranked Memphis on the 8th. And then they'll host Pepperdine and Loyola Marymount. So that's the next 5 games for Gonzaga. But Gonzaga at USF on Saturday, and Gonzaga has had some troubles playing at USF in the last 5 or 6 years.
Well, they've actually lost a couple of times in that period of time.
And with USF winning tonight to go to 7-3, Gonzaga right now at 8-1 in the conference. So right now, Santa Clara's biggest fans may be the USF Dons.
Well,
I know that doesn't always fit
well, regardless whether they win or lose, you know the Dons are going to have a tough game on their hands. So let's see how Gonzaga handles it. They're good under pressure. You would think Gary Bell might be the trigger guy along with Pangos.
In and out, Pangos had an open 17-footer, and Santa Clara with a chance to take the lead. Roquemore doubled momentarily, gets it to Clark. Brownridge has been quiet tonight. He's got 6 points. Under a minute.
Very good defensive sequence by the Zags. They're doing a heck of a job. They're not giving Santa Clara much. Tough shot.
On the rim and in for Brandon Clark, and the Broncos have the lead.
Brandon, I can take it to the basket with the best of them. Clark, has Brandon Clark made some shots? How do you like it, Santa Clara?
.28 seconds left in the basketball game, and it's a 13-2 Santa Clara run.
And I thought that was really well defended on that sequence by Gonzaga, but Clark will not be denied, and clearly he has been the go-to guy for the Broncos in the second half. And it all started, if you remember right, Glenn, with the foul by Gonzaga on the three-point shot.
Yeah.
They had a 10-point lead. That was 10 points with about 3:40 to go. Clark, that ended up to be a 4-point play, cut the lead from 10 to 6. And Santa Clara's come right back to take the lead.
And Gonzaga has not scored a field goal in the last 6 minutes of this game. So do they take it down to the final shot?
No, absolutely not. No. Gonzaga does not take it down to the final shot. I think they play right here, take the first opportunity. You got to have a chance to foul and get back in the game. You don't want to run the clock all the way down. Got to be proactive and get it to a Pangos or your go-to guy, Bell. They take a timeout now. Well, now you're inside of 15.
So Santa Clara getting after it defensively. Well, we'll see what
30-second timeout.
Mark Few, the play he sets up for the final 15 seconds.
Yeah, my point is this, Glenn. You're down 1. You certainly want to give yourself time if you miss the shot to foul and extend the game. I mean, if you bring it all the way down to the end, obviously you're living on that last shot. Now, if you're a severe underdog and you're on the road and you're saying, hey, this is our only shot to win because we're going to lose in overtime, then you might do it. But that's not the case. This is not the situation with Gonzaga. Terry Keating's telling his guys, don't foul. We do not need to make a foul here. Let's just play good defense and be strong with the ball if they miss.
So both coaches working hard. It's fun to watch the emotion. And the Broncos 15 seconds away from a huge upset, but the Zags have been in this spot before.
Well,
Brent Guinness to inbound.
They have, and if you're Gonzaga, Pangos, or Gary Bell, I'm sure they'll try to get this and win it. But, well, they're being defended well. Now you're getting down to the last shot.
And it's good. Sam Dower hits it. 1.9 seconds left. And they're calling it a three-pointer, and Gonzaga takes a 54-52 lead.
Can you believe it?
Sam Dower got it, turned around, calmly dropped it in. He had some pressure behind him. That didn't seem to bother him. So the senior makes the big shot.
Well, now the shot clock is winding down, and obviously you miss this shot, and you're probably not going to win the game. And Dower, who's a great shooter, by the way, he is 4 of 9. This makes him 5 of 10 for the year from three-point range. And we know he's a good free throw shooter, but I was a little surprised they ran the clock all the way down. Now Santa Clara did a very good job defending, but Dower makes the big shot. Is that huge or what? That is unbelievable.
You saw Roquemore right behind him. Took a swat at it, but Dower makes the big bucket. So 1.9 seconds left. Not a lot you can do if you're Santa Clara.
Well, you say there's not a lot you can do, but games have been won with less than 2 seconds to go. So what you need to do now if you're the Broncos, you cannot inbound the ball in the backcourt. You don't have time unless you're going to shoot a desperation behind midcourt shot. So I think you try to baseball it down, take a chance, and see if you can get Clark or Brownridge all the way down the floor. Roquemore, who is a great athlete, is a guy that will probably make a long pass all the way down the floor. And if you're Gonzaga, you go for the ball. Deflect it, do anything, don't just let Santa Clara catch it.
So Roquemore to inbound, and Angel Nunez, all 6'8" of him, standing right in front of Roquemore.
30-second timeout.
So Santa Clara had a timeout left. Why not use it? Well, so that is their last one.
And here's the deal, Glenn. You work on special situations the whole year. Here's the Dower jumper. Unbelievable set for Gonzaga. He's a clutch performer, and he made a tough shot here. I mean, this is one that just went down, and you got to hand it to him. I mean, Gonzaga finds ways to win games. This is a big one if they can pull it out. But you remember the Bryce Drew shot in the NCAA tournament. What did they do? They lobbed it down the floor. The guy went up for the ball and tipped it behind him to a man wide open in the corner who ended up making a shot. Now, that doesn't happen by accident. They work on that stuff. They work on plays. So you have almost 2 seconds. That is a long time if you can make that half-court shot, pass to deflect it to a teammate who's in rhythm to shoot the ball. It's got to go perfect, obviously.
Roquemore can move. And now he's going to get it to MacArthur. MacArthur, Brownridge on the run, missed it, and Gonzaga is going to get out of here with a win. And Santa Clara, the disappointment is all over their faces. They were 15 seconds away from a huge, huge upset.
I got to tell you, I thought that last sequence was well executed. Obviously, the Broncos have worked on this. You inbound it, you back pass it to your guy out of bounds. Now, Brownridge had a tough shot here, obviously, but this is something they work on. Special situation, and it was a desperation shot, but if you want one guy to shoot it, you want Brownridge to shoot it. That was a tremendous college basketball game. Nice job by Santa Clara. Great effort by Gonzaga to win it, and how about Doward, the big jumper, to get the job done.
And Sam Doward took one shot in the second half.
Well, he took the right one.
And he did, and he made a three-pointer, and that was the difference in the game. So the first place Gonzaga Bulldogs improve their record to 9-1 with a hard-fought win. Santa Clara loses their 5th consecutive game. The Broncos are now 3-7. So Santa Clara played great. Gonzaga got the big shot, which, well, you know what? That's what the great teams do, Dan.
Well, the great teams find ways to win games, and when everything else failed, you know, the players step up and make a big shot. So this was just a well-played game. Great runs by both teams. And Santa Clara made a nice comeback, but in the final analysis, too much of Doward. He took one shot in the second half.
Unbelievable.
And that was a pretty good one to make. Congratulations to Gonzaga. That's a big win for them on the road.
So Gonzaga now 19-3 overall, Santa Clara 10-13. Final score, Gonzaga 54 and Santa Clara 52. For my broadcast partner Dan Belwamini, our producer David Feldman, our director Mark Wolfson, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Hope you enjoyed tonight's game, everybody. Have a good evening.